Hi guys, and welcome back to Silk Life Medical Spa. I'm so happy to be recording another video on one of my favorite topics, which is weight loss. As you know, I am someone who lost 40 pounds about 8 years ago, and I've kept it off. I used to make weight loss so complicated, and I love showing my patients that it's not complicated. It's really easy if you understand it. So, today we're talking about fat. Yeah, I know there's two different fats. There's the fat that's on our body, that excess fat around the belly or even in the arms, wherever your fat is, that we want to get rid of. And then there's fat that we eat. And it gets really confusing because a lot of people have been taught that fat that we eat is what turns into fat on our bodies, and it's simply not true. That is actually so good for weight loss. Unfortunately, if you were raised in like the 80s or early 90s, it was so ingrained in you that you needed to eat a low-fat diet to not be fat. And it's really hard to break this thought process. But I'm going to help you do that today by giving you 7 ways that fat helps us actually be our optimal weight instead of putting on weight. So, if you have a scientific brain like me, you need these the background to really believe it. So let's get to it. Number 1, cholesterol comes from fat. I know cholesterol's kind of been demonized in recent because high cholesterol can cause problems, but really if you're eating, healthy foods and getting a good amount of fat, you're most likely not going to have really high cholesterol. What you do need cholesterol for is for your hormones. So for people who eat things that are labeled low fat and they try to cut all the fat out of their diets, they're not going to make as much hormones. And hormones are what we need to make our metabolism work. They're the main components of our metabolism. You need good thyroid hormone function. You need good testosterone function, whether you're a man or woman. And if you don't have enough cholesterol that you're eating, you're not able to produce those hormones. And unfortunately, patients that come to my office with, having put on a lot of weight, been doing the low-fat diet without success for a while, they often have hormonal imbalances. So even when they start adding the fat back in and they're exercising, they're dieting, the weight is coming off so slowly because they have a hormonal imbalance. So it's super important to eat good fats so that you have the ability to make all of your own hormones. And if you think that you might have some kind of hormonal imbalance, get it checked out. Or even if you're planning on, having a significant weight loss, then make sure your hormones are in line so that your metabolism is maximized, and that's really what's going to make it easy for you to lose weight. Okay, so number 2, fats keep you fuller longer. So they fill you up. If you had for breakfast like eggs and bacon and cheese, all like full fat items, you're going to notice that you're not hungry a couple hours later. If you just have that bagel and cream cheese, then your hunger is going to come back pretty quickly, and it's going to end up with you not only eating a lot of carbohydrates, but having to eat more because you're not getting enough fat in your diet. So helps you stay full, helps us actually eat less. And number 3 is it gives us long-lasting energy. Unlike sugars and carbohydrates that just spike our energy up and then let us crash a couple hours later, fats keep us satiated and they keep us energized for many more hours at a time. So if you want to feel good throughout the day, having some fats at your first meal is essential. And for people who are losing weight, it's very common to have low energy. Why does this happen? Well, think of it this way. When you eat food, or a lot of food, your body's taking energy from the refrigerator. Like, a meal that's ready to go, you take it out of the fridge, you eat it, you get that instant energy. If you are breaking down stored fat in your body, it's like taking food from the freezer. So, like when you're at home and it's like, okay, I need to make a frozen meal, but it's probably going to take me at least half hour, an hour. So, because you have to thaw it out, you got to cook it, you got to do all that crap to finally enjoy it. It takes a lot more energy. So our body is the same way. When it has to go off after that stored fat, instead of just eating food, it takes a lot more energy. So it's so important when you are trying to lose weight to keep your energy levels up, because you will get defeated if you just feel crushed by all the energy that's being used by trying to break down that fat in your body. And number 5. Fats actually are very important for transporting vitamins in our body. So getting them to the right organs in the right place. And there's certain vitamins like vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin E that are fat soluble. What that means is we actually need the fats in our body to be able to absorb the vitamins. So if you don't have enough fat, a lot of times these vitamins, you'll eat them and they just go right through you and no effect. And unfortunately, you actually need these vitamins to be able to keep your metabolism up, to be able to break down fat. So, a lot of times, difficulty losing weight can be related to a vitamin deficiency, and having enough fat is so important to be able to get your essential vitamins from those foods that you're eating. And number 6, typically people who are eating low fat are eating more sugar. And more grains. I mean, even you'll see, like, it's a really cool game to play. Go to the store or look at the regular fat muffin and the low fat muffin, or something similar to that. You'll see the one that's labeled low fat actually has more sugar in it to make it taste better because it has less fat. And sugar is what really makes us fat. We understand this now. There's actually some research out there that indirectly the sugar companies are what funded all this research that made us think that fat was bad for us in the first place. Yeesh. But I don't want to get too much into that. But I want to get into is if you eat more fat, you're going to eat less sugar. And really, that's what's going to keep you easily being at the weight that you want to be. Number 7 is me. Like I said at the beginning, I used to be 40 pounds overweight, and I was miserable. I tried so many different things to try and lose weight, but part of it is I was vegan, so I was eating no butter, I was eating no animal fat. And I wasn't getting enough fat from other sources. It's definitely possible to be a healthy vegan, and I wasn't doing it right because you really have to be intentional about it and make sure you're getting those good fats. Now I eat fat at almost every meal. So like I said, breakfast a lot of times has eggs, bacon, cheese. I throw some spinach in there too. And then, even at dinner, I'm getting meat with fat in it. I'm eating a lot of avocado. I love cooking with lots of olive oil and avocado oil. And as you can see, I don't have any trouble keeping off weight. Even I put on a lot of weight recently. I have a 1-year-old baby girl. A year ago, obviously when I had the baby, I had put on some extra weight, but within 3 months of just eating the right things, eating a lot of fats and not eating a lot of sugar and flour, my body naturally went to its optimal weight. And you can see, I'm exactly, where my body is meant to be. And I, will never go back to, having weight be a struggle for me. So if you want to learn more about this, you want to take a look at, what could make losing weight a lot easier for you. One of those things being checking your hormones and make sure that your metabolism is operating well. I would love to talk to you. We're doing right now it's half off, as kind of an opening special, $199 to do a full consult. Look at all of your hormones, of some essential vitamins that are really affecting the way that your body breaks down fat, and can really give you some information there that's going to help you. Number 2, what we can do is I prescribe medical treatments that really help with accelerating any of the work you do. You can really increase the fat, but it could take a few months to really have the weight come off. If you want to accelerate that, we can do different kinds of things. We have HCG, which really attacks that stored fat, so we have the HCG diet. We have appetite suppressants that really help with people who, when they're withdrawing from those carbohydrates, really get through that. So we have things like phentermine, or we use oxytocin, LDN, things to suppress your appetite and really help you make those changes. Then when you go off of them, you can stick to those changes that you've made very seamlessly and really have some long-term positive habits in your life. And number 3 is mental support. So weight loss, 50% physical, where we talk about metabolism, hormones, eating the right things, and it's really 50% the way you manage your mind. And so we address that too with our patients. That's definitely not ignored, and it is ignored with most weight loss clinics, unfortunately. So if you want to learn more, please give us a call, check out our website, follow us on social media at Silk Life Med Spa, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. You get to see all of these lovely videos. I can't wait to share the next one, and hope you all are having a wonderful day. Bye!